His upbringing in Egypt notwithstanding, Jesus Christ was well-versed and well-practiced in the use of sigils. It was he who commanded that the sigil of lamb's blood be smeared on Israel's doorposts, and his finger that wrote the sigil on Nebuchadnezzar's wall. If we assume that Jesus was writing a sigil on the ground with his finger, several possibilities become readily apparent. First, he could have been writing down the pertinent law and penalty from the Torah. The scripture would become a sigil of judgment, like that used for Nebuchadnezzar. At the same time, he would be ritually imitating his original writing of the law on the tablets. In doing so, he would be condemning those who had both broken the law and nullified the law, the very accusers of the woman. As a result, they stood in jeopardy of the penalty. It was likely not the silence that carried the power, but the ritual writing and the words themselves that carried the power. Jesus could have alternatively written down the names of the accusers. Surely, he knew them. Their names would become another sigil of judgment. Their names written on the earth symbolically become the book of death, the names of all those to be damned, as opposed to the book of life, the names of all the blessed. A third possibility is that Jesus wrote down a verse from the Torah. Writing down pertinent verses from the Torah was a popular form of Jewish magic. The Jewish magi used a verse that contained the name of God, a common magical practice, or a verse that was pertinent to the situation. In the case of the woman caught in adultery, scholars suggest a verse from Jeremiah, which contains both magical elements, the name of God, and relevance to the particular situation. The verse in question must be understood within the larger context of the chapter, which begins with the Lord condemning Judah for the sin of forsaking him. Judah's sin is written down so that it will be an everlasting memorial in their hearts and on their altars. This context, where names of the wicked are written down, sets the stage for the verse in question. The names of all those who depart from the Lord shall be written in the earth. Many scholars believe that this is a prophecy which was fulfilled by Jesus during the matter of the adulterous woman. This would mean that he wrote down the names of the accusers in the earth because they had departed from him. This is a reasonable conclusion, since the scribes had departed from the law set down by the Lord and given to Moses. Yet, if Jesus was practicing magic, then it would be more likely that he wrote the verse down and not the names. In this way, he was creating a sigil that worked as a spell cast upon the accusers. This formulation of the event flips the meaning of the verse. It is no longer a prophecy, but a spell. He no longer is writing the names of the accusers down in condemnation. He's writing the verse down, using its magical power to force the scribes and Pharisees to depart from him. The use of the verse as a sigil also reverses the events it describes. As a prophecy, the departure of the wicked from the Lord is followed by writing down their names in judgments. As a sigil, the names of the accusers are first written down, and then the wicked accusers depart from the Lord and the scene. This can only mean that the gift of prophecy is both a form of divination and a form of magic. It assumes the possibility that one can both see and shape the future at the same time.